Hi everyone. We'll be starting this session in the next couple of minutes. Can you guys confirm in the chat box that my voice is audible, visible? Visible तो नहीं होगा, but अभी audible है at least. Chat box में लिख के बता सकते हैं सभी लोग. I'm allowing couple of minutes more. For people to join in. Okay, so very good evening, all of you. Okay, I can see Vishnu saying that I am audible. Yes, saying I am audible. Okay, quickly, others, quickly, if you can confirm whether my voice is audible, I am visible. सभी लोग एक बार confirm कर देंगे that मेरी आवाज आप तक पहुंच रही है. सभी लोग फटाफट एक बार. Okay, Hiren, thank you for the confirmation. Okay, Vishnu, visible. ठीक है भाई, ठीक है. Thank you for the confirmation. Others, if you can quickly confirm whether you are audible, visible. I am audible, visible. Okay, Vivek sir, if you can rename yourself. Vivek sir, if you are here, you are the co-host. You can just confirm me. You can rename yourself with Vivek sir so that we can see you. If you are here, I have made you the co-host, by the way. You're already a co-host. So if you can, yeah, okay, great. Sir, if you can check your audio video.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, it's audible.
Okay.
Would you like to test your video also? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Think
Fine.
सर एक बार बोलेंगे?
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Just see the video part. Yeah, sir. Perfect. perfect. ठीक है.
Okay.
Great. So, students, you can just pass on this message to all of your batchmates. This is a special session IceGate is organizing for you, typically for chemical engineering students. Okay, so anybody who is a non-gate IceGate student also is also welcomed here. Okay, so please make sure that this session will be very much benefited for all of you. Okay, Vivek sir has prepared a wonderful session for you guys, and I'm just waiting for another couple of minutes for everybody to join in, so that we're expecting some more people to join in. आपके भी जो ग्रुप में आपके फ्रेंड्स होंगे उनको ये लिंक्स भेज सकते हो. अगर किसी का भला हो सकता है आपकी वजह से भी तो प्लीज करिएगा, बिकॉज दैट इज व्हाट इज द मोडस ऑपरेंडी ऑफ दिस सेशन. वी वांट एज मेनी पीपल टू कम एंड अटेंड दिस सेशन एंड टेक द एडवांटेज ऑफ इट, कि जिंदगी में केमिकल इंजीनियर बन के मैंने क्या पाप कर दिया है या फिर मैंने बहुत बड़ा पुण्य कर दिया है ना. दैट इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू आंसर टुडे, एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू बाय द एंड ऑफ दिस 30-40 मिनट्स व्हाटएवर वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक, मैं बहुत शॉर्ट रखूंगा. मुझे पता है संडे है भाई, गर्लफ्रेंड बॉयफ्रेंड का दिन है, मुझे पता है आप लोग को जाना है, ठीक है. बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे मी एंड विवेक सर विल ट्राई अवर लेवल बेस्ट टू कीप इट एज शॉर्ट एज पॉसिबल. बहुत लिमिटेड सुसिंक्ट वे में आपको बात करने की कोशिश करेंगे, एंड मेक श्योर दैट आपके जो भी सवाल होंगे वी विल टेक अप ऑल योर क्वेश्चंस एट द एंड ऑफ द session also. ठीक है, so allow another couple of minutes. I'll not wait much, but yes, 1-2 मिनट और दे दें, so that I am just allowing people to join in, so that everybody can take the advantage of it. Okay, so we will do this session in an interview sort of a format, where I will ask few questions on behalf of students. मैं जनता की अदालत बन जाऊंगा और आप जनता हैं सभी लोग, so आपकी अदालत में बन जाऊंगा और मैं सवाल सर से पूछूंगा related to chemical engineering, and we have such a wonderful faculty member with us, Vivek sir, and I'm sure he is going to enlighten you with whatever knowledge he has gained over a period of so many years. ठीक है, इतने सालों में सर ने इतने सारे बच्चों को पढ़ाया है, इतने सारे इंडस्ट्री के लोगों से देखा है, मिला है. So we at IceGate thought कि यार क्यों नहीं एक सेशन आप लोगों के लिए रखा जाए, बिकॉज आप लोग टिपिकली सेकंड ईयर, थर्ड ईयर, फोर्थ ईयर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग में होंगे और आपके दिल में बहुत सारे सवाल आते होंगे. मेरे दिल में भी आते थे जब मैं अपना इंजीनियरिंग करता था, यार काम क्या करना पड़ता है ना. सारा काम तो वो मजदूर लोग करते हैं या फिर वो टेक्नीशियन करते होंगे, मैं एज एन इंजीनियर क्या कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट कर सकता हूँ. बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज ONGC, IOCL, केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग के बड़े स्कोप हैं. ठीक है, सो आज के सेशन को हम टिपिकली 3 मुख्य सवालों में डिवाइड करेंगे, और वो 3-4 सवाल मैं सर से पूछूंगा वन बाय वन, एंड प्रोबेबली बेस्ड ऑन दैट 3-4 ये सवाल आपके हैं बेसिकली, जो एक स्टूडेंट के दिल में सवाल होते हैं कि सर व्हाट इज द स्कोप ऑफ केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग, मतलब हम जिंदगी में केमिकल इंजीनियर बन रहे हैं तो हम किस किस एरिया में जा सकते हैं. ठीक है, दैट इज वन क्वेश्चन. बाय द वे, मुकेश अंबानी इज ऑल्सो अ केमिकल इंजीनियर, सो केमिकल इंजीनियर वाला बंदा कहीं पे भी जा सकता है वैसे तो. ठीक है, सो सर उसके बारे में बात करेंगे आपसे, मैं सर को कहूंगा कि उस बारे में भी डिस्कस करेंगे कि आप कहाँ कहाँ जा सकते हो. दैट इज वन थिंग. सेकंड थिंग इज गेट या गेट के अलाइड इंस्टीट्यूट्स, जैसे कि PSUs हो सकते हैं, IITs हो सकती हैं, उसकी डिटेल्ड नॉलेज क्या कट ऑफ रहता है, किस तरीके से वहां जाते हैं, इंटरव्यूज में किस तरह के सवाल होते हैं, सर क्रायोजेनिक्स में जाना है तो क्या करेंगे, कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स हमारे गेट के इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं. तो दैट इज द सेकंड एरिया कि हमारी जो प्रिपरेशन है, चाहे हम कॉलेज में पढ़ रहे हो, चाहे IceGate में पढ़ रहे हो, वो सारी की सारी कितनी हमारे लिए कारगर होगी. और एंड में मैं आपसे एक बार बात कहूंगा, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दीज 2 थिंग्स, कि IceGate आपके लिए क्या प्लान कर रहा है, एज अ स्टूडेंट हम आपके लिए क्या प्लान कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज आई एम द फाउंडर एंड डायरेक्टर ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूट. प्रोबेबली आई विल बी शेयरिंग माय नंबर ऑल्सो लेटर ऑन स्टेजेस में. आपको मुझसे कनेक्ट करना है, कुछ हेल्प चाहिए किसी भी तरीके की, तो यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम, यू कैन टेक हेल्प फ्रॉम मी. आई हैव बीन टीचिंग गेट स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम लास्ट 12 years नाउ. 12 सालों में लगभग 1 लाख से ज्यादा बच्चों को मैं गाइड कर चुका हूँ, और मैं हर शहर में जाता हूँ, बड़ौदा में, सूरत में, अलग अलग शहरों में बच्चों से बात करता हूँ, चेन्नई में, बैंगलोर में, मुंबई में. अभी मेरा एक सेशन है पटना में, NIT पटना में मैं सेशन लेने जा रहा हूँ सो अगले महीने में. सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से, मैं इतने सारे शहरों के बच्चों से बात करता हूँ, इतने सारे फीडबैक्स आपके पास ला सकता हूँ कि कौन सा IIT में जाओगे तो क्या मिलेगा. मेरे बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स इन IITs में पढ़ रहे हैं जो आप ही के डिपार्टमेंट से बिलोंग करते हैं या अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट से बिलोंग करते हैं. सो आई कैन गिव यू लॉट ऑफ इनसाइट अबाउट दैट ऑल्सो. ठीक है, तो चलिए विदाउट वेस्टिंग मच ऑफ योर टाइम, आपके और सर के बीच में बहुत ज्यादा समय नहीं छोड़ूंगा मैं. सो वेलकम विवेक सर टू दिस fantastic session on all about chemical engineering typically, और chemical engineers क्या कर सकते हैं. तो विवेक सर, एक मैं चाहूंगा कि आप ही अपना एक छोटा सा सुंदर सा नन्ना मुन्ना इंट्रोडक्शन अगर बच्चों को दे पाए कि अभी तक लाइफ में क्या क्या उपलब्धियां सर आपने ली हैं. सो प्लीज एक छोटा इंट्रोडक्शन सो दैट एवरीबॉडी नोस, बिकॉज़ देयर आर लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स हु आर नॉन IceGate स्टूडेंट्स आल्सो. सो एक बार आप खाली अगर इंट्रोडक्शन दे पाए सर.
Okay, okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I did my diploma from Polytechnic Rajkot. Then I did my BE from Vishwakarma Engineering College, that is under Gujarat University. Then I did a MTech in Chemical Engineering from IIT Gandhinagar. Then I was with the Rashtriya Chemical and Fertilizer for 1.5 year, and from last 7 year,
सर
I
थोड़ा
am with the.
माइक को पास रखेंगे तो आवाज क्लियर आएगी बच्चों की, थोड़ा माइक
Okay,
थोड़ा दूर
okay,
रखें.
okay. Now clear? Now audible?
यस
Okay.
यस, बेटर बेटर सर.
Okay, so I did my diploma from Polytechnic Rajkot.
हाँ, वो
Then
वो
I
तो हो गया
did.
सर, उसके आगे जा सकते हो सर, वो सुनाई तो दे
Okay,
गया था,
okay,
बट थोड़ा पास
okay,
रखिएगा.
okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. Then I after my MTech, I was with the Rashtriya Chemical and Fertilizer for 1.5 year. Then I from last 7 year, I with the BRC as a nuclear scientist. Meanwhile, I clear when I was in diploma, I clear Nirma, Tata Chemical, SR, Reliance, and ONGC. When I was with the when I was in BE, that is in the Vishwakarma Engineering College, I cleared the SR, Nirma, GSFC, Reliance, IOCL, and then when I was with the IIT Gandhinagar, I clear RCF, I clear NPCIL, I clear IOCL, I clear BRC, and finally I chose with the BRC. Even after RCF, I have clear and with SRF and with KBR. So I am very involved with the industry. My many friend, my many colleague are actively involved in a chemical engineering.
Great, great.
So
So I
yeah,
think
yeah.
this was a very brief and a very clear introduction which sir has given. सर
Hmm.
आईटीएन हैं, सर के पास इतने सारों सालों का एक्सपीरियंस है, और जैसा सर ने बताया, इट इज नॉट अबाउट ओनली हिम हु हैज डन वंडरफुल इन हिज करियर. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स, यू नो, नेटवर्क बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर होता है. मेरे भी बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो अलग अलग आईआईटी से पढ़े हैं, बहुत जगह पे काम कर रहे हैं, उनका सबके जब वो मिलने आते हैं तो एक ही बात बोलते हैं कि सर, इट इज नॉट अबाउट मी, इट इज अबाउट वी. यू नो, बहुत सारे नेटवर्क, बहुत सारे बच्चे जो अलग अलग जगह पे जाते हैं, जब वो आपस में बात करते हैं तो आपका होराइजन बढ़ता है. तो आज जो सर निष्कर्ष लेके आ रहे हैं, वो इतने साल की मेहनत, इतने साल के कॉम्पिटेटिव एग्जाम्स को क्लियर करने का एक्सपीरियंस जो सर के पास है, वो आपके साथ शेयर करेंगे. ठीक है, सो आई थिंक वी आर प्रिविलेज टू हैव हिम हियर. सर, तो डाइस इज ऑल योर्स. आई एम श्योर
Yeah,
कि मेरा पहला सवाल आपको मैंने ऑलरेडी बताया है कि वो जो बच्चों की तरफ से है कि सर, व्हाट
yeah,
इज
yeah.
द टिपिकल स्कोप ऑफ केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट, मतलब एक केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट कहाँ कहाँ जा सकता है, क्या क्या कर सकता है. सो प्लीज टेक
Okay,
देम थ्रू दिस जर्नी सर. या,
okay,
over to
okay.
you, sir.
So yeah, yeah. Thank you. So for chemical engineer, there is a bright scope. When you are in India or when you are in the western side, we are in the Maharashtra or Gujarat region. There are lot of scope. Even Gujarat called the chemical hub for India or even for the Asia. So there are lot of chemical industry are there where the chemical engineer can work. This is the one part or one type or one way where chemical engineer can work. So basically industry, n number of industry. I can start with the government. I can start with the private Reliance, SR, Tata Chemical, Atul, n number of GSFC, GNFC, CRIPCO, IOCL, HPCL, BPCL, ONGC, EIL, PDIL, n number of company are there in Gujarat, Maharashtra, and in western side of India. They recruit chemical engineer to run the plant. So first scope or first type of job that chemical engineer do is the operation of a chemical plant. That is the big plant, huge plant. They may produce a petrol, diesel, they may produce a fertilizer, they produce a dye, they produce a pesticide, yeah, they produce a n number of chemical. So first scope is to run the plant. In running the plant, there are many job. Either you are involved or either chemical engineer involved in the production, or may chemical engineer involved in the technical services, or maybe they involved in the design part. That is the first role of chemical engineer, to produce a chemical. Second role of a chemical engineer is that to design that plant. We have a n number of industry, so we need to design a n number of equipment, n number of plant. So there are many company like Toyo, KBR, Jacobs, Cripco. There are n number of chemical company that design the plant. So there are the many scope that chemical engineer can work there. This is the second. Third, to develop a technology. This is the third scope to develop. In that, maybe you are in the research field or you are in the technology development. Many pharma company or many government organization, like I am with the BRC, so BRC developing the technology, or CSRI lab doing the technology. So this is the third part where chemical engineer can develop the technology. Fourth part, that is the chemical engineer can work in the marketing, that is called the marketing. I can say the example of Adani producing n number of chemical, even Reliance producing n number of chemical. They are not marketing in India, they are marketing outside the India. So one person or one team required to deal with the techno commercial role. So that is the fourth role that chemical engineer can play. Further, this is not end. Further, that chemical engineer can be the consultants. If you have heard the name of B.I. Bhatt, B.I. Bhatt is very famous in Gujarat. Is a well-known chemical engineer. He has worked with the many company, and he is now consultants. If you are in the LD or VGC, DDIIT or MS University, you may have chance to meet him. So he is very famous consultant. So you can do the consultancy if you have a knowledge of if you are proper knowledge of chemical engineering. Further, when there is a company or there is a group of company like GIDC, MIDC, there is certain regulation we or company has to follow. That is regulation by the pollution control board or any regulation authority that you have to follow. In that, you can find a job as a chemical engineer to check whether the company following this norm or not. Further, you may be the member of a regulatory body. That is, in BRC or in nuclear field, we have a ARB, Atomic Energy Regulation Board. Or in many industry, there are other board like FED38 or maybe. So you can be the member of that. Moreover, that you may involve in the quality control or quality checking, that whether this production or that material producing or you are procuring is the same as required as per the requirement or not. That is one type of job. Further, you may be a professor, assistant professor, research associate in university. We have n number of IIT, n number of NIT, and many colleges that are you can have a work or you can do the job as a professor.
My
Further, you
request to all the students will be to please take notes of this. I am taking notes very clearly. मैंने कुछ नोट आप लोग के लिए लिखे हुए थे स्क्रीन पे। यार देखो, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें सर बता रहे हैं ये। जब तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स भी पूछते हैं कि यार केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग कर क्यों रहे हो, तो आपको उनको जवाब देना होगा कि आई थिंक सर हैज गिवन अ वेरी वंडरफुल लिस्टिंग ऑफ व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स यू कैन लुक एट। आई जस्ट कुड मेक माय नोट्स वेयर आई एम लुकिंग एट कि आपको केमिकल्स बनाने हो सकते हैं, केमिकल के प्लांट डिजाइन करने हो सकते हैं, टेक्नो कमर्शियल जॉब्स हो सकती हैं, ठीक है, टेक्नोलॉजी हो सकती है, आप क्वालिटी कंट्रोल डिपार्टमेंट में हो सकते हैं, बड़े बड़े ग्रुप जीआईडीसी और रिलायंस और इन ग्रुप्स के अंदर आप कई सारे अपॉर्चुनिटीज में काम कर सकते हो। सो मेक श्योर दैट दीज आर सर्टेन एरियाज विच यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ। तो ये प्लीज नोट्स भी बनाइएगा साथ साथ में, ठीक है। जो भी सर बोल रहे हैं उनको कहीं नोटबुक में जो भी आपको समझ आ रहा है, जो भी आपको रेलिवेंट लगता है उसको नोट्स में बनाइएगा, ठीक
yeah,
है।
Ankur sir, can you go to the slide? I
Yeah,
have
please let me know.
yeah,
I'll move to the side. Yeah, you just let me
yeah,
know
yeah,
whenever I have to
yeah,
change the slide.
yeah, yeah. To change, please. Next, that I'll come back again. This is not next. Yeah, this is. So you further you be the trader. I met one trader of Baroda. He's just a diploma chemical engineer and he's supplying the chemical to IIT Gandhinagar and other college. He's earning more than the one lakh, more than 1 lakh in 2011. He was just a diploma chemical engineer, just a trading. He's procuring the chemical from some company and giving to IIT or small lab. So he's earning more than 1 lakh in 2011. He was just a diploma engineer. Further, you can be the technical manager in a bank. Many bank, when giving the insurance or give a loan to the chemical company, they need some manager or some engineer to verify that this company is sufficient or capable to pay back their own loan or not. So for that, they are asking the chemical engineer for that role. So you may have a chance to work in a bank, even you are a chemical engineer.
And just
You
to
have
add to this thing, I think these days being a consultant, this is sort of a
yeah,
consultant job,
yeah,
is very very in demand. If you look at the
hmm,
global statistics, the highest paid career is of a consultant. But वो consultant
yeah,
बनने के लिए आपके पास कोई specialization, कोई knowledge
yeah.
तो होनी चाहिए.
You should have a experience plus
Correct.
knowledge plus experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. You have your own startup. You can do the startup in chemical engineer little bit difficult, but it is like not, it is possible. It is not like not possible. So you can have your own startup.
और
My many
शार्क टैंक
yeah,
देखने के बाद तो सभी लोग स्टार्टअप की तरफ जाना चाहते हैं. सो आई थिंक यू कैन, एंड गुजरात इज अ स्टेट वेयर
yeah,
स्टार्टअप्स आर वेरी फ्रीक्वेंट, सो डेफिनेटली यू कैन लुक एट. यस.
yeah. Next, my many couple of friend have own company. They are from Ankleshwar and they have own company. So you can have also chances to have your own company after graduation. He started just his company after graduation, so that you can do the job in engineering service. That is also the technical part. You can be the coach in for a competitive exam like gate or other exam. You can do freelancing, do the design and do supplementary work. And for technically you can go for the higher study, may you can go for mtech, ms or phd. So this I have listed, I think so 12 or 12 to 15, that is the core or technical job chemical engineer do. So this is the where from anywhere you can do the job. So this is the core job technical. Now I'll go for the non-technical. Before that, any query, any doubt, you can ask me.
Yeah. Shall I move to the next one?
I think so. You go to the previous slide. So I will explain what chemical engineer do. Yeah. So this is just a brief or bullet point chemical engineer do. First is the chemical engineer do design or develop a chemical process which can work on a larger scale. It is easy to have a small scale, but small scale के लिए तो टेक्नीशियन या केमिस्ट वाला बंदा भी बना सकता है. घर पे साबु तो मम्मी भी बनाती है, लेकिन इंडस्ट्री पे मम्मी नहीं बना पाएगी. For that, you need a chemical engineering or chemical engineer. Second, you need some chemical operation or chemical equipment that you have to produce, you have to design, and you have to support that equipment that chemical engineer do. Third, very important, when we are producing on the larger scale, we have to monitor and analyze the data, whether product is of certain quality or not, whether distillation have a certain temperature or not, that we have to maintain. Further, when you are designing any process, yeah, you are going for the approval, then you have to develop a safety procedure or safety method to operate the plant, that you have to do. When you are in the technical services of any plant like Reliance, GSFC, GNFC, you have to troubleshoot the problem. Suppose something is not work, they will not go for the designer. As an engineer, you have to troubleshoot that problem. You have to solve the problem, or you have to come out with the solution with the small problem. Then you have to optimize the performance of the your column or your reactor. That is the one requirement as a chemical engineer, because maybe other person can operate. You have to optimize the parameter, you have to optimize in certain way that your output is the maximum. That is expected from chemical engineer. Next, research and development. You may develop or research, or may you come out with the new or modified chemical manufacturing process. They help for the industry. Maybe they help for the even society. That chemical engineer can do. And one important role is the estimation of a product or the process. Many times, suppose you are in the water treatment plant. Suppose Reliance going to have one more extension of, like, यू हैव नाउ R4 और R5 आपने सुना होगा कि रिलायंस ने अभी फोर्थ टाइम एक्सटेंशन किया. So now if they go for the next extension, then they need a water treatment water treatment plant. Then they go for the tendering. Then you have to estimate what will be the cost for that plant. Then you have to apply for tender, and then may you get a tender. So one is role is the cost estimation for an engineer or chemical engineer. So this is a brief for bullet point that chemical engineer profile, that we have to do this work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Other job that initial I explained the technical job. There are always non-technical job, like if you are in the IIT, yeah, if you are in the NIT, you can be the software engineer, or even you are in normal college. One of my friend is in Russia. He is in the TCS. He was the third ranker of our class, and now he's in the Russia with TCS. So there is always scope of a software engineer. You can be in the bank. You can go for the data analysis. You can do the MBA, work as a manager, bank job, staff selection job, UPSC. You can do coaching. Many my IIT friend doing coaching of JEE and other. They are earning well, and may you can do the other job which is normal required graduation that fulfilled by the chemical engineer. So this is the other job. Earlier I have explained was the technical job. Yeah.
So, Vishnu is asking, sir, in case I want to get the tenders, government
Yeah.
tenders, so what type of, for becoming a contractor, what all I should do?
Okay. See, for government, there are the segregation of a tender. If it is the low amount tender, like 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh, there is no requirement of a previous experience. But if it is the 50 lakh or 1 crore, then you may require means we are asking for the previous experience. So initial you may not be able to apply for that big tender, but yeah, you definitely apply for the 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh, and then you get the experience, and then you go for the further tendering. So initially you have to be with the low amount tender, then after that you can get for the high value tender.
I hope, Vishnu, you got your answer, right? Okay.
Yeah. So if we see the field or industry where chemical engineer work, so if we just highlight, then first is the oil and petroleum, that is the big sector, Reliance, SR, IOCL, and all the Gulf. If you have heard, I don't know whether you came across or not, but many of my batchmate now in the Gulf. So target for the chemical engineer, first few are they are in the uh, Ankleshwar, Baroda belt, then after that, they shift to the Reliance SR. They will stay for the fuel. Then they go for the Gulf. They stay for the fuel, come back in the India, have our own industry. They are doing. Many of my friend now is in the Gulf. They have spent 5 year in the this Ankleshwar Baroda belt, 5 year in Reliance SR, and now they are in the Gulf. So it is the big scope or big chance for chemical engineer to survive in this competitive world that UAE Gulf country requirement of a chemical engineer. Then chemical manufacturing industry, all chemical, we can say salt, we can say soda ash, all petrochemical, pesticide, pharma, that all come. Food industry, electronic industry, rubber, yeah, rubber, textile, for rubber and textile now they are need a chemical engineer to have a more competitive process. Fertilizer is the after oil and petroleum, fertilizer is very important segment of a chemical engineer. Is matlab is the understood that if anyone have a experience in a fertilizer industry and particular in the ammonia plant, that is the world best experience. They can do anything, any chemical plant he or she can operate if he or she has a experience in the fertilizer industry. So fertilizer industry is heavy, and we have a GSFC, GNFC, IFCO, CRIPCO, we have n number of company. So that is the very best. Pulp and paper industry, cement, healthcare means the pharmaceutical, biotechnical, and scientific research in a laboratory like DRDO, BRC, ISRO are doing CSR lab. So these are the core field where chemical engineer works. Okay. Next, yeah. If I see key industry, that is the if we see oil and gas, then PSU, ONGC, IOCL, HPCL, BPCL, GAIL, LNG, Petronet, and other that I have taken, which recruit the chemical engineer. This all company recruit the chemical engineer. Oil and gas in that. If we see the private company, then Reliance, SR, Mangalore Refinery, and many other are in the private. If we see the fertilizer industry, GSFC, GNFC, RCF, NFL, and n number of, I can, if I make a list, then it will be 100 slide of total chemical company in India. If we go for the private, Cripco, IFCO, Gipak Fertilizer, and other are other private player in a fertilizer field. Next, yeah. If we see the design or consultants job, Then PSU or government are EIL, PDIL, and others. EIL and PDIL both are in the Baroda. If you have visited that, if you see private, Linde, Toyo, GE, Jacobs, and many others are there. In we see the petrochemical, Reliance, IPCL, Deepak Nitrite, Atul, and number of company. If we see the soda ash, then GSCL, Nirma, Tata Chemical, and others. So I have taken the key industry, not all the industry. There huge or there is a big list that I can't present here. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Next. Yeah.
Okay.
If we see government job, then BRC, NPCIL, Heavy Water Board, IPR, that is the Institute of Plasma Research, IGCAR, RRCAT, NFC, then Department of Space, that is ISRO, VSSC, DRDO, Army, Navy, CSRI lab, total 38 lab, CSRI lab in India. One is in the Bhavnagar, that is research on the salt, one in the Dehradun, that research on the petrochemical, one is the Pune, that is research on the chemical. So that are and other autonomous body. I think so. There is one autonomous body in Baroda. One is the Anand that do the research on the chemical background. Then pollution control board or safety analysis that are government body that recruit the chemical engineer.
See,
And if it's yeah
honestly speaking, chemical engineers are everywhere, and when I come across a lot of states, Gujarat has been very progressive in producing chemical engineering students. Okay, so
yeah
many seats, so many colleges are there, but in other states you will not find that much opportunity. So you are fortunate, but the important thing is competition भी उतना ही है. जितना हमारे पास अपॉर्चुनिटी है, इनमें जो नंबर ऑफ सीट्स निकलता है बहुत लिमिटेड होता है. ठीक है,
नहीं
यस,
नहीं
यू
सर.
यू हैव वंडरफुल अपॉर्चुनिटी, बट एट द सेम टाइम अच्छी जगह पे जाने के लिए कंपटीशन तो फाइट करना ही पड़ता है. यस सर.
Even the ratio of a student versus seat, that is the less in chemical engineer compared to
करेक्ट.
other. If you see the mechanical or civil or electric, if you compare government job versus the number of student pass out, then a huge ratio. If there is a one job, then there is 1,000 student pass out. In
ट्रू.
chemical engineering, this is less. So
करेक्ट.
that is the chance. But yeah, definitely there is a competition. There is a competition with your neighborhood. जो आपकी बेच में बाजू में बैठता है उससे ही आपकी competition है.
सही बात है.
Yeah. Further, if you want to be the professor or you go for the research, then IIT, 23rd IIT now in India, 31 NIT, other premium institute, then ISC Bangalore, ICT Mumbai, and other chemical engineering college. That nearly 550 chemical engineering college. So if they require 10 professor, then 5,000 is the professor requirement. So there is a huge scope. Generally, student avoid to be the professor, but it is the best job for any engineer. Yeah. So now the most interested part for the student is that which PSU are recruiting through GATE or which PSU taking the chemical engineer. So here the list. I think so. This
इनफैक्ट
is more
आई
than.
कैन आई कैन ऐड टू व्हाट सर सेज कि इनफैक्ट मैंने जो एनालिसिस किया है, मैंने जो देखा है ना कि केमिकल के लिए सबसे ज्यादा पीएसयूज है. इवन
Yeah.
मैकेनिकल और सिविल वालों के लिए इतने पीएसयूज नहीं है जितने केमिकल के लिए. राइट सर.
Yeah. 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 Definitely. Definitely. Because most of PSU are require the chemical engineer. Right? IOCL, HPCL, BPCL, GALE, ONGC, NTPC, BRC, BEL, EIL, NALCO, DRDO, OIL, many are taking that. From this, at least 50% are recruiting the chemical engineer. Even one in the 2012 or 13 rights, this is the rice related company that recruiting the chemical engineer. Power grid also recruiting the chemical engineer. Power grid deal with the power. Still they are recruiting the chemical engineer. So more than half of that are recruiting the chemical engineer. So that is a big chance compared to other discipline. Yes, sir said we have a big chance to have a job in the PSU. And biggest advantage of to do the job in PSU, you are getting the facility to work is better one. Is the best one. You get a colony, you get a township, you get a free medical. I'm in BRC, I am in the BRC colony. So we don't have to worry anything. If we complain that my light is not working, tomorrow the technician come and repair my light. If I say there is a issue in the my uh, tub or is my plug, next day he will come and attend that. We have a unlimited medical facility for my child, for my wife, for my parents. We have a school, we have a gym, we have a swimming pool, we have a we in our colony, we are resident of around 2000. We have a 20 to 30 garden. In 2000 people staying here, we have a 20 to 30 garden. So that is quality of life is the best if you are in the PSU or that type of job. So that is the best part. If you are working in the Ahmedabad, Baroda, some MNC, some IT group, then your MNC culture is good. You have maybe you have a table tennis. Many students are get accredited that table tennis or maybe some carom is there in office. But this is not work. When you are staying, there should be the sufficient facility. So that is best with the PSU. You will all get a facility when you stay in the colony. Even ONGC are giving the in each 3 year they are giving the money for the laptop. They are give the money for the your mobile. They are reimbursing your mobile bill, your internet bill. So this all facility you get once you are in the PSU. So and PSU chemical engineer is the better one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to add to this, in fact, not only for chemical engineering, for anything, if you go to a PSU,
Yeah, yeah,
आपको
that is, yeah.
बैंक
This is
लोन्स
applicable
बहुत
for
सस्ते रेट पे मिलते हैं आपके पास। जो सर ने इतनी फैसिलिटी बताई, सबसे बड़ी बात है पीस ऑफ माइंड है यार। प्राइवेट
yeah,
कंपनी में आपके पास जाने का टाइम है, आने का टाइम फिक्स नहीं है। मैं बहुत
yeah,
सारे
yeah.
स्टूडेंट्स को देखता हूँ कि वो बेचारे पैसा तो कमा लेते हैं, लेकिन उनकी जान निकल जाती है। तो PSU इज अ वेरी सेटिस्फाइड लाइफ, इफ यू गेट टू सेंट्रल PSU 5 days वर्किंग होता है आपका, या कभी कभी नाइट शिफ्ट में काम करना पड़ता है कुछ कुछ प्रोफाइल्स में, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे लॉट ऑफ सेटिस्फैक्शन विच गिव्स टू यू, बिकॉज आप अपनी फैमिली को टाइम दे सकते हो, अपने आप को टाइम दे सकते हो, यू लर्न न्यू थिंग्स। इनफैक्ट मेनी ऑफ द PSUs आर वेरी प्रोएक्टिव टू डू, आपका मैगजीन का खर्चा भी वो उठाएंगे, न्यूज़पेपर का खर्चा भी वो उठाएंगे, तो फाइनेंशियली ऑल्सो इट इज वेरी रिवॉर्डिंग।
Yeah. So yeah, this I will listed this is a package, but generally कहा जाता है कि if you compare with the private, then you have to multiply this figure with the at least 2 times. The salary of government multiplied by 2 is equivalent to the government this sorry CTC of government should be multiplied with the 2 times of your salary, then you become a CTC of private, because the allowance which is not mentioned here, if you see that ONGC have a 60,000 to 180, this is a basic pay. In that you get a n number of allowance like house rent allowance, you get a TA, you get perks, you get a uniform allowance, you get a washing allowance, you get a food allowance, you get a food subsidy, light bill allowance. So all you get. So this is the more than that they mention. Even in BRC, we are mentioning the basic pay only, but we are getting more on that. In private, they are giving the final pay. The 1 rupee they are if you they are spending on you, they count in the CTC. But in government or PSU, it is not like that. So this is the just a basic pay of our IOCL, ONGC, HPCL, BPCL on that one.
So this is
So
this is
this,
per month, sir, right?
yeah, this is per month. This is per
Yeah.
month.
And if I say, just correct me wrong, if Vivek sir, if I am wrong, मोटा मोटा अगर मैं ONGC की बात करूं, तो एक बेसिक पे के अलावा जो आपको अलाउंसेस मिलते हैं, उन सबको देखते हुए हम इसको 18 से 20 लाख गिन सकते हैं ऑन एन एवरेज इन एन ईयर।
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's
ठीक है,
the 15 to 18 lakh is the starting.
ओके, 15 to 18 लाख इज द स्टार्टिंग। सो यू कैन इमेजिन
Uh,
गाइस, 15 से 18 लाख ऑन एन एवरेज आप स्टार्ट कर रहे हो अपना सैलरी।
After 1 year, you will become a 18 to 20.
करेक्ट करेक्ट, ठीक है ठीक है।
And we have perks like DA, and that is day by day they are increasing. So
या
nowadays 15 to 18 lakh you can consider for ONGC, IOCL, that you can consider.
और एक चीज और जो बच्चों के दिमाग में होता है कि सर PSUs तो प्राइवेटाइज कर रही है गवर्नमेंट, सो प्लीज एक चीज समझने की कोशिश करिए, 100% प्राइवेटाइज नहीं कर रही है। कुछ PSU जो अंडर परफॉर्मेंस कर रही हैं, जो खराब परफॉर्म कर रही हैं, उन्हीं के साथ प्राइवेटाइजेशन हो रहा है। जो अच्छे परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं उसको प्राइवेटाइज नहीं किया जा रहा है। दूसरी चीज, अगर इन केस प्राइवेटाइज होती भी हैं, तो भी आपके लिए तो अच्छा है यार। इनफैक्ट सैलरी पेज तो बढ़ेंगे, वो कंपनी बंद नहीं हो जाएंगी, उनकी ओनरशिप किसी प्राइवेट प्लेयर के हाथ में कुछ पार्ट चला जाएगा। फॉर एग्जांपल, रिलायंस माइट टेक अ 10% स्टेक इन सम अदर कंपनी, बट इन दैट केस इट विल बिकम, बिकॉज रिलायंस पागल तो नहीं है, हजारों करोड़ रुपए खर्च कर रही होगी, वो अपनी प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ाएगा, वो आपको अच्छी पे देगा अगर आप अच्छे टैलेंटेड काम करने वाले इंसान हो तो। हाँ, अगर आप काम नहीं करने, वहां सोने के लिए जाना चाहते हो तो बात अलग है, राइट। वो वांट जो जानना चाहते हैं कि अपनी प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ानी है। सो अंडर एनी केस ये दिमाग से निकाल देना कि सर PSUs तो प्राइवेटाइज हो रही है, right? Vivek sir, your
Yeah,
comment on
yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah. देखो पहली चीज तो है कि प्राइवेटाइजेशन का डर, जो सर ने बोला, जो काम नहीं करता है उससे होना चाहिए। काम करने वाले को खुश होना चाहिए कि सैलरी बढ़ जाएगा प्राइवेट होगा तो। सेकंड, गवर्नमेंट मोस्टली 100% अपना शेयर नहीं बेचेगी। और दूसरा, जैसे अभी ये एयर इंडिया का हुआ, गवर्नमेंट ने कंडीशन रखा था कि नेक्स्ट 5 ईयर तक आप किसी को ले ऑफ नहीं करेंगे। सो दैट गवर्नमेंट पुट इन द कंडीशन। और ऐसा नहीं कि मतलब कल उठ के प्राइवेटाइज हो जाए, प्राइवेटाइज होने के लिए भी बड़ी प्रोसीजर है।
करेक्ट।
और इसमें मोस्ट ऑफ द कंपनी जो लिस्टेड है, ओएनजीसी, आईओसीएल, दैट आर द लाइक ब्रेड एंड बटर फॉर गवर्नमेंट। सो उसमें से जनरली नहीं करेंगे। जो अंडर परफॉर्मेंस है, जैसे बीएसएनएल है या ये अपना एयर इंडिया था, उस कंपनी को करेंगे। तो जहाँ पे केमिकल इंजीनियर जॉब करते हैं, उसमें बहुत रेयर चांसेस है कि उसको प्राइवेटाइज किया जाए। जैसे हमारा एनपीसीआई है, 100% गवर्नमेंट का है, और उसमें से कोई भी प्राइवेटाइज नहीं होगा, मे बी हार्डली होगा तो लेस देन 10% होगा। तो इसलिए हमें ये डरना नहीं चाहिए केमिकल इंजीनियर को कि प्राइवेटाइज हो जाएगा। दूसरा, अगर प्राइवेटाइज हो जाएगा तो भी आप पीएसयू में नहीं जाओगे तो प्राइवेट में ही जाओगे ना।
करेक्ट।
आपके पास ऑप्शन थोड़ी है कि मतलब प्राइवेट, गवर्नमेंट और प्राइवेट, ये बेटर है, ऑलवेज इट इज बेटर।
राइट सर।
या so next table that I have make, this is the cutoff for a chemical engineer, that year wise I have collected. Like for HPCL, if you see in the 2019, for general it was the 56.67, for OBC 44, SC 42, and ST 32.67. Bell, that is recruited last in a this is out of 100. Yeah, Bell recruited last in 2019. Cutoff for general is the 62.292, and followed by OBC, SC, and ST. Gale, which is recruited in 2017, the cutoff is the 62.33. Sale, that is recruited in 2018, general cutoff was the 73.74. Sale is the one of the best company. BPCL in 2016, cutoff was the 57. NPCI, that is also the one of the best company, cutoff was the 74. EIL, also good company, 2020, 63 cutoff. IOCL, the data which I have available was for the 2014, that was a 65. ONGC, lastly, the data I have available is the 2019. This is a score, not a mark, 689. So for score, you know that the person which top have 1,000 score, and then it is getting down. So 689 score was the last person which get a job in the ONGC. BRC, that was 725. It was a 2019. So this is a rough data that you should target कि आपको उससे ज्यादा तो आना चाहिए, then you get in that job.
So I think we should target at least 75 plus.
Yeah,
So that is what our, all the PSUs we can definitely target
yeah,
if you are a general category student.
yeah. General category person has to fight more.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I
Then
think sir has very elaboratively explained the prospect of a chemical engineer, और जो हमारा पर्पस था इस सेशन के पीछे, आई एम श्योर यू गाइस वुड बी सीइंग कि उसको पर्पस पूरा होता दिख रहा होगा आपको, कि सर ने समझाया बहुत अच्छे तरीके से कि आप एक केमिकल प्लांट में काम क्या करते हो या आपकी इंडस्ट्री में रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है। एंड आई थिंक आफ्टर लिसनिंग टू दिस देयर इज अ ह्यूज अपॉर्चुनिटी व्हिच यू कैन लुक एट। सेकेंडली सर वे आल्सो टॉक्ड अबाउट कि सर वहां पर आपको जाना कैसे, पीएसयूज कौन सी हैं, क्या सैलरीज मिलती हैं, क्या पर्क्स मिलते हैं, कौन कौन से अपॉर्चुनिटीज आप ले सकते हो। ठीक है, या सर इफ यू वांट टू टेक अप दिस स्लाइड।
yeah. Then further, if you are not interested for job, you can go for the MTech or ME. You may go for the MS in India or outside. You may go for PhD directly in IIT or doing after MTech or MS, or you may go for the MBA. This is also the opportunity after engineering or after chemical engineering. And for next slide.
या
Yeah, this is the cutoff for chemical engineer if you do MTech. I have started with the ISC Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIT Roorkee, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Kanpur, IIT Madras, IIT Delhi, taking direct admission or they are taking with interview. IIT H4 Hyderabad, IIT GN Gandhinagar, IIT, this is the Dhanbad, and IIT Ropar. So you can see you must have around 600 or more than 600 to get an interview call for that IIT. This is the score. Again, topper will have a 1,000 score, and after that it will get down. Yeah, 6,600 or 650 required to get a call, and then you have to crack an interview to get a MTech in IIT.
Right. So this, remember, is the cutoff. Okay, this is the last student you have got into that. So that is why I
Yeah.
have mentioned कि 650 700 तक कोशिश कीजिए. अगर मैं 100 में से बात करता हूँ तो टिपिकली आप 65 to 70 जो पीएसयू की कट ऑफ जाती है, लगभग वही अच्छा आईआईटी की कट ऑफ भी जाती है. So if somebody
ये
asks me, yeah, please sir.
last this is for call for interview, not for the admission.
Correct, correct. This is interview.
So you have to crack an interview. So other than that, you may have, if you're looking for the competitive exam, GATE, CRAC, GPSC, UPSC, SSC, Engineering Service, TOEFL, GRE, GMAT, and other company exam like BRC taking their own exam. Now there are less company they are taking the exam, but if you go for the Reliance off campus, then Reliance will take their own exam. If you go for the Tata Chemical, they take their own exam. So that you have to prepare for that. Yeah. Next. Yeah, this is the salary trend in the rupees lakh. This is the 2017-18 data. So you may expect 20% hike in that. So if you are in the petroleum, then you can expect starting package is the 7 lakh. In chemical or pharma, 5.6. If you are in the power or energy, 6. Fertilizer, 4.8. And other, you are in the then 4.5. Next. Yeah, this is same comparing with the okay. Yeah, this is for the other different job of a chemical engineer. If just you are the chemical engineer in the plant, then static package 4.87. If you are in the design, then 4.58. If you are in the senior as a senior process engineer, 6.46. Assistant professor 4.07. Professor 10 lakh. And if you are the chemical process engineer, then it's a 4.91. This is all data, so you can expect 20 to 30% rise in that.
If you guys want, we will share this PPT with you. Don't worry about that. Okay, because there is nothing secret in it. This is all available on internet. But
Yeah,
yes, if you wanted it compiled, I'll request sir if he is allowing. I'll share this PPT
yeah,
with you.
definitely. Yeah, not
Yeah.
issue. Yeah, this is the package. IIT Bombay chemical engineer getting the 20 lakh, and subsequent NIT Trichy get a 4.5. This is the variation from where you are studying or which company are coming for the interview. So this is a package of IIT. Around, you can say, average 10 to 15 lakh package IIT student is getting. This is again 2017 data, so you can uh, correct
And
with this
please
current year.
understand, these are just average. ठीक है.
Yeah, this is
आप
yeah, yeah.
इससे ज्यादा भी ले सकते हैं. आप सबको एवरेज का मतलब समझ में आता है. दिस इज जस्ट एवरेज. ठीक है. सो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड कि स्काई इज द लिमिट फॉर यू गाइस, बट अच्छी जगह पे चले जाओ, वो इंपॉर्टेंट है. मेहनत कर लो, अभी भी हमारे पास समय है. डोंट डिपेंड ओनली ऑन व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इन द क्लास. खाली क्लास में करने से सिलेक्शन नहीं होता भाई. खाली क्लास करोगे, प्रीवियस ईयर गेट क्वेश्चंस करोगे, वो तो स्टेप नंबर 1 है. यू विल हैव टू गो टू द रेफरेंस बुक, यू विल हैव टू स्लॉग हार्ड. इन जगहों पे जाने के लिए आसानी से एडमिशन नहीं मिलता है. ठीक है. सो प्लीज मेक श्योर दैट यू आर वर्किंग ऑन दैट लाइंस. यस सर.
Okay, I think this is covered. We have covered
ओके.
application of it. Yeah,
ठीक है.
yeah. This you can expect the role after few year. If you start with the production engineer, you make better manager, and finally with the factory manager. If you start with the project engineer, you become a project manager. You start with the design engineer, you become a consultant. If you start with the R&D engineer, you become a R&D manager, and you after 10 or 15 years, you become a specialist. And there is a demand for specialist. One of my friend was working in the simple small company, and after few year he selected in the kiloscale because he was expert in the pump. So the package was after 10 year, his package was the 20 lakh. he in previous company he was at a 10 lakh, so 100% jump because he was the specialist in the pump service. So that is also a chance you
सर,
may become like that. Yeah.
Rupesh is asking one question ki, being a chemical engineer, do we or should we go for softwares to learn few software? If yes, what type of softwares?
Uh, See, it is not mandatory one. This is the skill. This is the add-on. So if you want to have some skill, then you can go for. I can give an example: Aspen, ChemCAD, MATLAB, NSYS. These four are you can have add-on: Aspen, ChemCAD, NSYS, and MATLAB. That four, I think, if you can do, then it's a good one. But it is not a mandatory requirement that you should know the software. Then you get a job. That is not a mandatory requirement.
So Aryansh is also asking a similar question, sir. If you can answer that, कि sir B.Tech करने के बाद अच्छा job ले लेना चाहिए chemical का या M.Tech करके लेना चाहिए?
Okay, this is the tricky question because it depends which option you have. See, when I did my BTech, I have an option with the SR, and I got a job in SR, and I got a MTech in IIT Gandhinagar. So, because SR, they are recruiting me in the SR steel plant. So I say, if you are giving me the SR oil, then I will drop my MTech. So they refuse, and they ask me, if you want to join, you have to work in the SR steel. Then I decided that I will continue my MTech. So depend on your job, which job you are getting, you have to decide.
ठीक है? Okay. So let's move to the next one.
Yeah. So well-known chemical engineer is the Mukesh Ambani that we all know. He did a chemical engineer, and then he did a master from Stanford, and now he's the owner of Reliance. So I don't need
काफी
to
सारे
think. Yeah,
काफी सारे लोग ये समझते हैं कि मुकेश अंबानी कॉमर्स बैकग्राउंड से होंगे, बट
nahi, nahi.
जस्ट फॉर आवर क्यूरियोसिटी ही इज अ केमिकल इंजीनियर. ग्रेट.
And he did a chemical engineer from ICT. If you
हम्म.
heard the UDCT earlier, it is UDCT, now it's the ICT.
आई
It's
सी.
simple college. It's not like some privileged college or some like IIT. ICT, like it's a LD or MS University of Baroda. It's similar like ICT of Mumbai. Okay, one more name I can say. If you heard the MM Sharma, he's a well-known. He got a Padma Bhushan or Padma Vibhushan. JB Joshi, MM Sharma. MM Sharma, if you chemical engineer can relate, you have studied the mass transfer. And mass transfer, we are using the book of Trebal. If you heard, I hope you have heard the word Trebal. So MM Sharma has a work with the Trebal. And Trebal is the only book chemical engineer used for the mass transfer. He got a Padma Bhushan or Padma Vibhushan. So he's also the well-known chemical engineer. Even Suresh Ranade, Sanjay Mahajan, J.B. Joshi, they all got a Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri that are well-known chemical engineer. Here I have listed that is the non-technical person. Harsh Podle or this all are the which are the chemical engineer but working on the different area. So this is just I have listed.
राइट. सो आई थिंक द पॉइंट ऑफ टेलिंग यू इज कि केमिकल इंजीनियर किसी भी सेक्टर में जा सकते हैं, किसी भी फील्ड में जा सकते हैं, एंड
Yeah.
आई थिंक दिस इज व्हाट इज फ्यूचर.
Yeah, this is the important slide because see, if we see the future of world, if you heard the zero carbon or net carbon Paris agreement or that you have heard, all the country want to have a zero carbon because see, fuel is the ultimate source for the energy. And if you want to achieve a zero carbon, then you have to work with the hydrogen fuel. And hydrogen can only produced by the chemical engineering. So it's the few chemical engineering is only the future. Same way, if you see the fuel cell which are using in the battery of mobile or laptop, methanol fuel cell is the future. So again, methanol can be produced only by the chemical engineer. No other engineer can produce methanol or hydrogen. So finally, future is only the chemical engineering.
Right. In fact, if you look at Mangalyaan or material
Yeah,
science are dependent on chemical engineers. If you look
yeah,
at
or, yeah, yeah,
Akshay Kumar ka Mangalyaan, sabne dekha hai, and it was purely chemicals which brought down the cost of the 400 crores ka ya Mangalyaan. And I think you can play a phenomenal role in fields like cryogenics, in field like oil and
yeah.
gas, in field like petrochemical. Only thing
Oh,
is you
yeah,
have to get knowledge. Guys, ये बहुत important है कि गेट की पढ़ाई से एक बहुत बड़ा इम्पेटस मिलता है आप लोगों को, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी एट आइस गेट वांट्स यू टू डू कि आप जीवन में बहुत बढ़िया करें, बहुत सुपर्ब करें, अपने पेरेंट्स का नाम रोशन करें, बट उसके लिए ज्ञान और नॉलेज तो लेना बहुत जरूरी है ना. सो प्लीज डू टेक इट. जस्ट एग्जाम पास करने के लिए अपनी पढ़ाई ना करें. मेक श्योर जो भी आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं वो लाइफ में बहुत आगे काम में आएंगे. ठीक है. Virender is asking, sir, if you can share your numbers so that they
yeah,
can get in
yeah.
touch with you.
Definitely. I
I'll
can message. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You
I'll
can send
write
me
it down.
the
Just आप बोल दीजिए, मैं लिख देता हूँ सर.
95103 34134.
So anybody who wants to get in touch with sir, you can get in touch with sir directly. And in case you want some help from me, that is Rohan sir. That's my name. This is Vivek sir's number, the above one. Okay, so you can get in touch with Vivek sir. और अगर कोई मुझसे हेल्प लेना चाहते हो तो दैट्स माय नंबर आल्सो 9924927097 एंड दैट्स माय ईमेल आईडी दैट्स rohan@icegateinstitute.com. ठीक है, so now I am opening the house for questions if you have any. Before that, let me thank Vivek sir for fetching time with our students. I think sir it was wonderful, lot of insight I have got, in fact, बहुत सारी चीजें हमको समझ में आई और I am sure things have been very clear. ठीक है, let's take some questions. Vishnu is asking one question, sir. If somebody have some backlogs or something in a college, so will there be a problem in the premium company when you look about the interviews and the jobs?
Yeah, many company ask to have a 60% throughout. Many company ask for last 2 year. Many company ask for last 1 year. So depend which company you are going to sit or which company coming your college is required. You have to fulfill the requirement. So
Correct.
it's always good to have a clear backlog as early as possible.
Yeah. So in fact, many of the questions connected to this कि सर इंडिया में जॉब करनी चाहिए, बाहर जाना चाहिए, या मेरे को इस जॉब में जॉब मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा, they are all subjective questions, guys. My suggestion to you is, in case you want, get in touch with us one to one, because सबका केस अलग अलग होगा. ठीक है सर, मैं जैसा सर ने बताया, मेरे को रिलायंस में भी जॉब मिल रहा था, मुझे आईआईटी गांधीनगर में भी एमटेक मिल रहा था, ऐसे बहुत सारे सवाल होंगे, एंड वी आर ऑल हियर टू हेल्प यू आउट विद ऑल दोस क्वेश्चंस. पहला स्टेप तो मेरा सजेशन है, पहले अपन मार्क्स ले तो आए यार, पहले चूजर तो बन जाए, उसके बाद ये सारी बातें भी हम कर लेंगे. एंड देयर लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस लाइक रुपेश इज आस्किंग, सर अगर हम फॉरेन जाना चाहते हैं, फॉरेन में अच्छी जॉब मिले तो उस पे जाना चाहिए या इंडिया में जॉब करना चाहिए? सर इफ यू कैन कमेंट ऑन दिस.
Okay. See, foreign for chemical engineer are classified for the two. One is the Gulf country and one is the non-Gulf country. Because Europe, USA, Australia, Russia, that is the non-Gulf country for chemical engineer. And Gulf country, UAE, Iran, Iraq, Qatar, that are the Gulf country. So you depend on your requirement. See, this is the, I think so, your background related question, from where you are coming, or where is the route for your family. Many times, if you are a single child, your family will not allow you, or you don't want to go. Otherwise, definitely, if you can go, then definitely you should go, because for better opportunity, if you are getting to work with the foreign, then you should opt for that. But again, it is subjective, depend on your condition, depend on your family, depend on your interest. You can decide that.
Yeah, so I think
Okay.
rest of the questions, I hope we have given you the number. मेरा भी आपको दिया है, सर ने भी दिया है. I think ये सारी चीजें आर्यांश, वीरेंद्र, दक्ष, we will take up one to one in case you want. Okay, we will discuss all these questions one to one. So we are falling short of time, and I think can I have a quick feedback in the session? How was this? Shall this session be arranged for you in the future or not, guys? Raj, Mir, Madhuri, Jatin, if you can just quickly put it in the chat box so that it encourages IceGate as well as Vivek sir to keep more such sessions for you guys. We will have many sessions like कैसे attack करें, कैसे score करें. We are planning one session probably in the month of August or something, how to get a 75 marks in gate or 75 plus marks in gate. I'll invite Vivek sir again for that later on कि भाई प्रोसेस कंट्रोल में कितना पढ़ना है मुझे, थर्मो को कितना ध्यान देना है मुझे, किस सब्जेक्ट पे क्या काम करा जाए, कितना होमवर्क किया जाए, कितनी रेफरेंस बुक पढ़ी जाए. ऑल दोस थिंग्स वी विल बी अरेंजिंग फॉर यू. बट मेरे को आपसे जो रिक्वेस्ट है, आपसे जो कहना है, इस सेशन के पीछे का मकसद ये था कि प्लीज 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 मेहनत कीजिए, उसके बिना कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. ये सारी चीजें बहुत अच्छी है, बट अगर आप उसके ऊपर एफर्ट नहीं डालोगे तो वहां तक नहीं पहुंच पाओगे. Yeah, sir, Vivek sir, any closing
Yeah.
remarks from your side?
Yeah. One, I want to add this thing as a senior, because most of, I think so, from Gujarat, and I am from Gujarat. I did my all the graduation, post graduation Gujarat. So one thing I have noticed from the student is that they are not reading the reference book thoroughly. They just read from the point of view of either university exam or either from the point of view of a gate. There is no meaning. मेनी स्टूडेंट से दैट सर ये प्रोसेस कंट्रोल में इतना थोड़ी इंडस्ट्री में काम में आएगा, इतना रिएक्शन इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ाते ये सब काम में आएगा. तो आई विल से दैट what we are studying in the university or what is our syllabus, it is only the 10% which actual in the industry. So तब कभी भी आपको ऐसा लगे कि हम बहुत ज्यादा पढ़ रहे हैं या बाद में काम में आएगा या नहीं, तो ऐसा नहीं है. आपका यही होना चाहिए कि आपको अच्छे से पढ़ना है, whether it will come in the university exam or not, whether it is a part of gate or not. आपको सब चीज अच्छे से पढ़ना है. This will helpful when you start your career, whether as an engineer, whether as a manager, or whether it's your own company. It will helpful. So I suggest that you read your book, your reference book, very clearly, very thoroughly.
Right, absolutely correct, sir. Bang on. I think this is very much important. So best of luck, guys, for your preparation, and thanks for coming on a Sunday. Thank you, Vivek sir, for your
Yeah, yeah.
valuable
Thank you.
time here, sir. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
okay.
Thank
Thank you.
you,
Okay,
everyone.
okay, okay.
Bye. Good
Okay,
night.
bye.
Take care.